Darren, welcome back. Sunshine Vaping.
I wish I could say it was good to be back.
Yes.
But good evening. My name is Darren Tripoli, and I own and operate Sunshine Vape across multiple locations in Rhode Island and Connecticut. I've been a licensed retailer in the state for about 14 years, and I'm here today to support this bill. But I want to be clear about what this bill actually does, because I think it's been miscategorized. This is not a bill to expand vaping. This is a bill about tax revenue, public safety, and whether Rhode Island controls its own market. When the flavor ban passed, the assumption was that demand would follow. Well, it didn't. Customers didn't stop buying these products, they adapted. They went online to completely unregulated websites, shipping from out of state. They drove across the border into Connecticut and New Hampshire, and increasingly, they are buying from a growing black market right here in Rhode Island. Hashtag RI Vape Delivery. These are unverified products, no age verification, no licensed distributor, and not a single dollar of tax collected by the state. That black market is the direct and predictable consequence of eliminating a legal, licensed retail channel. When you close the legal door, you don't close the market, you push it somewhere the state cannot see it, cannot tax it, and cannot regulate it. And that is exactly what has happened. My business alone went from paying over $250,000 a year in state sales tax to a fraction of that. Multiply that across every licensed retailer in Rhode Island, and you start to see the scale of revenue this state has simply walked away from. I've watched it firsthand. Customers who used to walk through my door, age-verified, transactions recorded, tax collected, are now telling me where they're getting their products instead. And none of those places are paying Rhode Island a dime. This bill fixes that. Licensed end shops mean age-verified sales, products sourced through licensed distributors, and state tax collected on every transaction. It takes sales happening right now in the shadows and brings them back into the framework where Rhode Island benefits. And a portion of that recovered tax revenue is earmarked directly for tobacco cessation programs. Go figure. Funding the very programs that designed to address the concern that motivated the ban in the first place. That is responsible, balanced policy. The demand exists whether the bill is passed or not. Rhode Island can collect taxes, control the market, and protect consumers, or leave it all to the black market and out-of-state sellers who answer to nobody in this room. Thank you guys, and I'm available for any questions now or after this hearing. But I will tell you that our store in Connecticut has absorbed about 80 to 90% of our customers, and we are now giving that tax revenue to another state.
Darren, thank you. Questions and comments for Darren? Darren, I was going to ask you how the store in Connecticut compared to the stores in Rhode Island, and you answered the question before we even got asked. So.
It reminds me why I do my job every day. I have all the tools at my disposal to help people quit smoking.
Right.
Whereas what Dino said, we have 7, 8, 9. The SKUs are always changing in Rhode Island, but we're at a very limited number. So we have a very limited amount of tools. And I just want to give back to the state money that they could use towards the station programs and enforcement.
Thank you. Any other questions? Zach, over to you. Zach, the migration of the oversight.
It's important.
Migrate from oversight from Department of Health to Department of Taxation, which this committee did as part of the budget for FY25, gave them that authority, which is what they do all the time. And there might be another one, but definitely know of one.
Yeah, there's definitely been a couple bad actors for sure. I do believe that some of those bad actors were trying to survive until legislation and might have cut some corners or whatnot. But I do believe that the majority of underage sales, non-reporting of taxable products, misrepresenting your taxable products, those are playbooks taken from convenience stores and smoke shops that when they ship everything, it's shipped under a different name, it's taxed differently, they don't report the tax, they're able to offer all these high discounts, they don't pay minimum wage. Most of the bad actors are the convenience stores and gas stations. You know, some of these people are my friends in business, and I feel bad saying that, but it's the good guys up here that have our stores rated by the Department of Revenue, Department of Health. You know, on a regular basis. You know, we're being audited, and they're taking legal products that they don't even know are illegal until we have a court date where we end up settling. And, you know, this stuff costs small businesses money. And I would not be surprised if this time next year we don't get some type of carve out like we gave the dispensaries originally on this bill when it passed in the budget. I know you guys know the dispensaries got the carve out, right? If we don't get that, I can guarantee you that my stores are going to close, right? How long are we going to keep fighting for a state that does not seem to care about the good actors, right? So we pay our tax. You heard in my testimony, I paid over $250,000 a year pre-ban. It's a fraction of that nowadays, and it's abysmal. It's sad, you know. And we're giving all that tax revenue to faceless online vendors who don't pay or report their tax dollars. They don't pay the wholesale tax. They're one or two man operations on a website, or they just drive to my store in Connecticut and pay Connecticut tax dollars, or New Hampshire. So Rhode Island needs to get a grip and understand that the demand has not gone anywhere. You know, you have state workers with these products in their pocket, and 75% of them are bought illegally. You know, you're never going to stop it. So tax it. Allow us the tools to help adults quit smoking. That's what we're asking for. And we'll give back. You'll see all this 1% of the MSI payments used for tobacco cessation, the $400,000. You're going to see millions of dollars coming in to support tobacco cessation programs and enforcement. We're trying to give you guys the money. Thank you.
Darren, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're going to blow the $100 million out of the water.